Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison Podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 81 of Was I in the Wrong? Here on the Misty Morrison Podcast, we love to read or listen, we like to give advice, and help people look back on their situations with that 2020 vision to see how they could have handled the situations more gracefully. Before we get into our stories for the day, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. Every bit of online engagement is free and can help build the dream. Subscribing is the number one thing to help the algorithm. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can press the bell icon to be notified everywhere or every time I post a video. You can subscribe anywhere, share it with a friend, comment with your thoughts on stories down below. I love seeing your comments. Give it a like, a heart, a thumbs up. And if you're listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. Okay, into our stories for the day. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/Am I the Jerk? Am I the jerk for refusing to give my coworker the office chair I won in a raffle? Immediately, probably no. My job had this little employee appreciation thing last Friday. Nothing crazy, just pizza, cheap cupcakes, and a raffle with random prizes. Most of it was stuff like mugs and gift cards, but the big prize was a really nice ergonomic chair that apparently used to be in a manager office before they remodeled. I won it. My coworker immediately got weird about it because she has back pain and said she needed it more. I do feel bad for her, but the chair was a raffle prize, not a medical accommodation. I also work from home 2 days a week, and my chair at home is terrible, so I was actually excited to take it. I've been wanting to spend some money I made on steak on a new chair for myself for a while now. She asked me in front of everyone if I would just give it to her. I laughed a little because I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. She said it was kind of selfish to keep it when she has actual pain. I told her she should talk to HR if she needs a special chair, but I'm not giving away something I won fairly. Now, a few people at work are acting like I'm being cheap and dramatic over a chair. Am I the jerk? No, she's being entitled. Does it suck for her that you won the chair? Yeah, but it's great for you that you won the chair. You also needed it. She doesn't get to decide that her need is greater than yours. That's subjective. As far as, her having a sit-down job and being in an office setting, if your office is above a certain number of employees, there are subject to certain state and federal rules and regulations for safety and accessibility and things like that. I know at the company I work for, we have a risk department, and when I first started, they were going around different clinics, checking things out. And one of my people actually did not have a true office chair. She had just like one of those rolling stools that you would see like in a doctor's office with no back or anything, just a round rolling stool. And they said, we have to buy her a chair. This does not meet our requirements for ergonomics. Like it can lead to back problems or health issues if she continues to sit with poor posture every day in this unsupportive chair. So the company bought her a chair. We also had another employee who had a fall at home and injured her tailbone. After that, it was difficult for her to sit for extended periods of time. She reached out to her supervisor about getting a standing desk riser to add to her desk. Supervisor spoke to HR about it, and they purchased the desk riser for her. Typically, for something legitimate, there are ways to be accommodated through the workplace where for your office space, you don't have to spend your own money to get the accommodation you need. So she absolutely should reach out to HR. This is a her problem, not a you problem. I hate for you that she asked the question in front of coworkers and kind of put you in an awkward place where now people are taking sides. But you're right. It is yours. You won it fairly. You're not obligated to give away something that is yours just because someone deems their need greater. Not the jerk. That one was easy. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITAH for refusing to not play a song because it reminds my friend of her ex. Immediately no. So I, 16 female, and my best friend, we'll call Z, also 16 female, went to a friend's birthday outing for dinner and karaoke. As soon as you said 16, I knew why this was an issue. Z asks a question. We're learning about 9/11, about how firefighters found people, and the teacher answers by saying there were limbs scattered around the area and they had to collect them. Z was really perplexed to that answer and asked, "Limbs?" To which me, another girl, and the teacher commented about how people's only resort was to jump out of the building, saying it was the impact that caused so much damage. And the other girl even went into more of an explanation of it. Z immediately turns to me and says, "There's no need to be so rude. I was asking a question." Mind you, she doesn't actually pay attention in class. She actually doesn't even want to be at school. She's only in classes I'm in because she doesn't want to be alone, and I've chosen subjects I will need as grounding for my degree, law, so there's a big problem there. But that's not the point. Anyway, I end up swapping seats with another friend because I was so pissed off. But that was the end of it. Come to the hangout. We're at karaoke, we're putting on songs, and Z and my other best friend cue up a song we all know, but when I ask to sing with them, she goes, "No." So I go to pick out some song I wanted, which one of them was Black by Pearl Jam. I was hurt that they decided to sing a song that was like an inside joke with the group as just them two. A few songs later, I'm talking to my other friend, and it is loud, so I'm sort of yelling, and Z again turns to me from singing and says, "Shut up." And I'm immediately pissed off once again because there was no need for that. I end up telling her no and to just focus on singing or move away, and she says, "I can't concentrate with you yelling." Again, there are lyrics she can read, it's not that hard. She responds to me saying, "Move away," saying, "Oh, okay, so you just want me to go outside then?" I say, "No, I never said that, but if you want to sing and not be distracted, move away so I can talk. I'm sitting here trying to talk to my other friend and you're interrupting me and yelling." It got a bit heated to the point which a girl we were meeting for the first time had to get her to move away. After that, everything was okay until Z asked if I had cued Black by Pearl Jam, and I said yes. She had told me before her ex listened to the band, but I didn't know exactly what songs were his favorite, and I honestly don't care. But as we're getting closer to the song playing, she asked me to not play it, and I asked why, and she said because my ex really liked the song. And so I said, "But I want to sing it." Anyway, we're like one song out from Black playing now, and Z stands up in front of everyone and says, "I'm sorry, I need to step out for a bit," and walks out in front of everyone. Everyone is like, "What's going on?" And I admit, she doesn't want me to play Black. And I ask, "Am I an asshole?" And my other friend says, "I would be pissed off if you played Cowgirl. But one, I don't even know that song, and two, that has something to do with her ex from 2 years ago because she goes to the girl she was friends with at the time and says, 'You know that song?' She ends up going out to look for Z, and I just feel like the shittiest person on earth, and I just don't know how to feel. But we tried to finish the karaoke, but the mood was severely messed up after that." So, AITAH. All of this reads as so juvenile. It could be worse. The fact that there's only 2 paragraphs in that whole thing was a struggle. But it could have been worse. No, if the question is, are you wrong for playing this particular song? No. Like, your friend cannot expect that she will be able to avoid all of the songs her ex-boyfriend liked for the rest of her life, or for as long as this is noticeably affecting her. She'll get over him eventually. No, she's the one who chose to create drama, asking you to stop talking when you're in the setting where you're supposed to be talking and hanging out with your friends, a loud setting where you do have to raise your voice. The right thing to do would have been for her to move away. She just turned this whole thing into drama, asking you to stop talking when that was not the problem, and like announcing to the whole room, "I'm sorry, I have to step out for a minute," and like making a show of getting up and walking out to make you look bad. No, your friend is being juvenile, she's being dramatic. You're not wrong for playing the song. It's not like you were at her house. You were in this place for karaoke. You have every right to play whatever song you want to play. She has to deal with it, or she can leave. That's part of growing up. You're not always going to like everything that other people are doing or everything that's going on around you. But you can't always make it stop. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITH for not spending time with my parents on the 4th and going to my mom's family party instead. So my female 19, mom, female 51, is no longer on speaking terms with most of her side of the family. Last week, she made this super long post about how when her dad, my grandfather, passed away 6 years ago, she lost the only person that ever really knew her. She posted this on her public Facebook page, basically saying how none of her family loves her except her dad, including me and my siblings, and my dad, her husband. This super, super long rant, mostly written by ChatGPT, who she uses for absolutely everything, including therapy. And her sister, my aunt, reached out and basically said, "We're here for you." And it kind of hurt my feelings what you said on that post. So now she's basically losing her mind and screaming about how her family hates her. Your mom needs real therapy. ChatGPT is not it. We have a family tradition of watching the parade in town and then going to my mom's brother's house for a family get-together. All the siblings and cousins and aunts and uncles get together and just have a very nice time. Obviously, my mom's not going this year, and so my dad and 2 younger brothers can't either. But my older brother and I are going to go anyways. My mom seemed extremely upset and even muttered about how I was choosing sides, but I really couldn't care less. Good for you, for being mature about this. I feel like I would be the asshole for not being with my parents on the 4th and choosing a side, but also their little feud has nothing to do with me. My mom has extensive mental health issues, it's showing, including untreated bipolar manic episodes, depressive episodes, etc., where she's almost verbally abusive to my dad, who just has to deal with it. I also feel awful for leaving them alone together, so my dad is going to have to take care of my 2 younger brothers, 10 and 11. Am I the asshole for choosing sides? No, because you're not choosing sides, you're choosing not to cater to her mood swings. I know ChatGPT AI can be incredibly useful. I use a few different AIs for different things. Can make life, work go so much faster, so much easier. It has its place. Therapy is not that place. It seems that AI, much like the algorithm on social media, feeds into what you're feeling. So if she's constantly telling ChatGPT how she feels like her family hates her and like she already lost the only person who cared about her and all this, then when she's going to chat for therapy, it's channeling what she's already fed into it and feeding that back to her, most likely. Just like with the social media algorithm, you like a few posts about being abandoned by your family or like losing loved ones, and that's going to be what you keep seeing repeatedly. It's kind of like she's going down this rabbit hole. She needs to choose to stop and get out of it. The rabbit hole's not going to stop going unless she makes that decision. I don't think you're choosing sides. I think it's great that you're still going ahead and going and being involved with your family despite your mom's feud, because this is her feud. It doesn't involve you or your brother. I hate that your little brothers don't get to go and your dad feels like he can't go without her. It's really unfair to them. But no, you're right. You're not choosing sides. You're just choosing not to get involved with the feud and not to be affected by it. This really sounds like this feud, or whatever you want to call it, is a result of your mom maybe being in a manic or depressive episode. I mean, if you're saying that she's going to chat for therapy and it seems like she's having really severe mood swings, it sounds like she's not medicated and she needs to be, for the sake of your family, herself, her husband, and your brothers. She should get the help that she needs to level out so she's not being a detriment to those closest to her. All right, story number 4 is coming to us from oh, no. I did not even look at it. Oh. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/am I the jerk. AITJ for telling the previous owner of my house she can't come pick fruit from the tree anymore. Gotta read this one. I bought my house last summer, and there's a big plum tree in the backyard. A few weeks after moving in, the previous owner messaged me saying her late mother planted it and asked if she could collect some plums when they were ready. I said sure, because I understood the sentimental part. When she came over, she brought her husband 2 buckets and a ladder. They picked nearly every ripe plum, including branches hanging over my patio, and left a bunch of broken twigs and fruit on the ground. I barely got any myself. Apparently, her family has used those plums to make jam every year for almost 20 years. She contacted me again asking what weekend she can come this year. I told her I planned on keeping the fruit this time since the tree is on my property, and I actually want to make something with it. She got pretty upset and said I knew the tree had meaning to her family. She even offered me a few jars of jam, but that isn't really the point. I spent a lot of money from stake. What I need to look up what the stake thing is. I spent a lot of money from stake fixing up this yard, and I don't want people treating part of it like it still belongs to them. My sister thinks I should let her take 1 bucket because it's a family tradition and costs me nothing. I feel bad about the connection to her mom, but I also don't think buying a house means that old owners get yearly access to whatever they miss. AITJ. No. Um, you did I think it's very kind. I think it's great that you let her come the first time to come get the plums, but she clearly took advantage of it when she cleared out the trees. If it was that sentimental to them and they wanted continued access to these trees and these plums, they needed to think about that before the property sold and hire a professional. What's the word? It's not a botanist. Oh my gosh. The people who grow trees, like in nurseries, it's not an arboretum, whatever. The people who handle fruit trees, hire a local professionals to dig up the tree, move it where you want it to your own property, and plant it there. Is there a chance when you dig up a mature tree like this and move it that it dies? Yes. But if you leave it on a property that you're selling, you're going to lose access to it anyway. Most sensible people would realize when you sell a property, you lose access to everything that's there. Even the trees your mom planted, your grandma. Yeah, even the trees your mom planted. It's unfortunate, but they chose to sell the property with the trees. You have every right to say, actually, I don't want you coming back. These are my fruit trees now, and I'm going to enjoy them. You have that right. Does it suck for them? Is it hard for them? Yes, but this was unfortunately something to think about before it was sold, and there were ways to remedy it where they could have kept the trees. It's too late now. So, no. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITA for not wanting to leave the country for my grandfather's funeral. No, probably not. Background. I just graduated medical school and am 2 weeks into my new position. I'm Korean and my grandfather is in the hospital in Korea and is in critical condition. The doctors don't think he has very long to live. My parents, who have been emotionally abusive my entire life, are trying to force me to attend his funeral. Even though he's not dead yet, okay. In Korean culture, this is going to be a roughly 10-day event. Now it really makes sense. This will require that I take 2 weeks off of work in a country where I can't even speak the language for someone that I don't really have a strong connection to. Since he isn't dead, I don't have a date yet, and I don't want to cause trouble at my new job by asking my boss if I can drop everything and go out of the country at an unspecified time. This would also require me to reschedule all of my patients' appointments and give up my source of income. Additionally, I'm worried about the current state of our government. While I'm a U.S. citizen and was born in the U.S., with our current administration trying to take away birthright citizenship, I'm worried that I would have additional difficulties entering back into the country. You are absolutely right. I mean, you said that you were not close to your grandfather. You're not even close to your parents because you said they were emotionally abusive. It does not benefit you to go attend the funeral. Your grandfather's gone. He's not going to know whether or not you came to his funeral. Only the family will. And if you don't care what they think, because this seems like it's really about appearances and tradition, if you don't care and you feel like it is harmful to your livelihood and your career to leave the country when you just started this job, then don't do it. If your parents have already been emotionally abusive to you and you're not close, you're not losing anything when you make them mad by saying you're not going. Easy, simple, done. Yeah. It's not worth it. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/AITA_H_unfiltered. AITAH for donating to a local group and not giving more money to my brother. Immediately no, because the title implies you already gave him money. Good morning. I am a 43 female. My little brother is a 38 male. We live in roughly the same area. Our parents are deceased. Bro got fired from his job this spring, and this was posted 6 days ago. So this has been several months that he's been without a job because we're in July right now, unless he's had something in between. He told me he's looking for a job. I asked my previous manager if he would be willing to look at my brother's resume. He said yes, and encouraged me to have him send it. I asked Bro numerous times for his resume, and he never sent it to me. When I asked him why he wasn't sending it, he told me he was too qualified to work there because he has a master's degree. When you are unemployed and you need a means of survival, qualifications be damned. Which is frankly kind of insulting since I worked at that job for many years and it supported me well and has great benefits. It could be just a stepping stone or just a temporary job, but apparently he's too good to work there. As far as I know, that is your cue to stop sticking your neck out for him right there. As far as I know, he's collecting unemployment. Last week, he called me crying because he didn't have any money for food. I took him to the grocery store and bought him some food. Keep in mind, I am not rich by any means. On Monday, a local group for underprivileged children, think Boys and Girls Club but not exactly, posted on Facebook that they were asking for donations to take the kids and some volunteers on a field trip to a really cool museum a few hours away. They needed money for bus fare, lunch, and admission. I love that museum and really thought it would be a good opportunity for them to go. So I donated $40 on their crowdfunding site, and because I have an account, my name popped up on there. Nothing extravagant. I'm glad to say that as of this morning, they reached their goal amount. Yay. Anyway, somehow Bro saw this and immediately texted me. This is what his text said. You donated to organization? I saw your name on the site. WTF. You know I'm struggling. I could have used that $40. WTF. I was pretty shocked since I spent no less than $100 on our grocery trip last week. I asked my coworker what she thought, and she said I could have floated him the $40 since I got a good incentive check last week. So now I feel bad. AITAH. Should I send him $40 to make up for it? I know he was rude about my previous job, but he is my little brother. No, don't give in. You don't owe him that. You don't need to make up for anything. He is being entitled, and he's throwing a tantrum. And if you give in and give him $40 because he threw a fit about it, you're training him that he can do that and get a positive result. No, you were not wrong. It is your money to do what you want with. Like, you work hard for it to do what you want with it. You don't owe it to anyone, your little brother included. You already helped him, and you helped him more than you helped this crowdfunding campaign. He's being entitled. I think your coworker is just trying to be nice. I'm not over here trying to be nice. I'm trying to be realistic. No, don't do it. That is 5 stories for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast. Remember, start each day with a grateful heart. Kindness changes everything. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.